Hey friends, good evening. Okay, so I was gonna do the new Facebook rooms in this group to do our supplements class tonight. I wanted to just test out that feature because I'd heard some cool things about it. And then it was not what I thought, and I couldn't invite anyone, and I also couldn't record, and so I was kind of like, what's the point? So I just decided to exit out of that and go live because that always works, right? And then we always have it later for people to come back and watch. And it's just super easy because the video is on the group wall and it's easy to access, all of those good things. So this is a really super impromptu, super casual, informal class. Hi, Lena. I see some people hopping on. So I just wanted to really quickly kind of chat about supplements because I feel like a lot of people get their starter kit of essential oils and they never really delve any deeper into Young Living than essential oils, and they might choose to get their supplements someplace else because they don't know that Young Living has amazing supplements. And actually one of the reasons that I decided to get on Essential Rewards and start really switching a lot of what we use in our house to Young Living is because of the amazing supplements. And I really wanted to get good quality supplements, and Young Living really, really fit that bill. So this is going to be super casual, just kind of chat a little bit about my favorite supplements and what I use. And I want to give you guys a great resource that I have found recently. And then I'm going to share with you just a general health protocol that you can use that just has a handful of supplements that you can order on your Essential Rewards orders, and it's not going to cost you a ton of money, so don't feel like you're going to be totally breaking the bank. You can start super slow with one or two and then build up your routine as you need to and want to, or you can go gangbusters and do everything. But this is just a really good general health protocol for what supplements should I be taking and when to take them. Is super helpful too, because that's a common question that I have. So if you didn't know already, hi Josie, hi Jill. Okay, so if you didn't know already, supplementing is kind of a big deal because here's the thing. Our the nutrient density of our fruit and vegetables and our produce in today's day and age is actually really sad. And unless you personally are growing the vegetables and you know that your soil is just super nutrient dense and chock full of all of the good things that your vegetables need, then your vegetables are probably lacking in the nutrients. And so obviously the best way to get all the nutrients that your body needs is to eat a super, super healthy diet. But there are obviously things lacking from our produce, which is where we're supposed to be getting most of our nutrients. And so if we're not supplementing, we're probably going to be deficient in a lot of things. There's also a lot of vitamins that our body doesn't produce itself. Like vitamin C, our body doesn't produce vitamin C. Vitamin D, our body doesn't produce vitamin D. And so we're going to be deficient if we're not being super intentional about getting enough, and our bodies can actually take a surprising amount of both of those nutrients. So that's just an example. But we can be deficient in a lot of different things and be eating tons of fruits and vegetables and think that we're getting all that we need from our diet. And we might be getting most of what we need from our diet, but we still need to supplement because our food is so lacking in nutrition, especially compared to how it used to be. So, most, I think, doctors recommend, that you at least take a multivitamin. But the problem with store-bought supplements like the stuff that you go buy at Walmart is that those things are usually synthetic vitamins. So you can either derive a vitamin and a supplement from a natural source, like a food-based source, or you can synthetically create it in a lab. And on paper, it's going to look the same, but I have taught this my entire Young Living career, is that your body just knows the difference between what is true from nature and what is synthetically created in a lab. Our bodies are miraculous, and they were miraculously designed by somebody who knew what he was doing, and he designed the earth to literally work with our bodies and give us everything we need for nutrition, for therapy, for support. He created plants with us in mind, and our bodies were designed to work best with nature. And so our bodies respond best to natural sources of things, and that's just how it is. And science knows and says this a lot, that synthetic vitamins, actually you just end up peeing most of it out because your body doesn't really know how to process it. So you're getting super minimal benefit from getting a synthetic vitamin. However, tons and tons and tons of vitamins on Amazon and Walmart and even Whole Foods and places that you think have good quality vitamins, you'll look at the label and find that it's a synthetic form. So Supplements are one of those things you get what you pay for. Obviously, you don't want to like pay just astronomical amounts of money for a supplement that's not going to do anything for you. But the higher quality a supplement, you can expect that because it's food-based and because it's sourced properly and because it's actually going to do something and be bioavailable in your body, that supplementing is not going to be something that you can just spend $2 on a bottle of pills at Walmart and expect magical results. That's just not how it goes anymore. Supplementing is actually a really big deal in the world. I was looking at for like how much money was spent on supplements, and I was shocked to find that in 2019 it was a $1.23 billion industry worldwide. I couldn't find the US numbers. I'm sure if I dug a little deeper I could have, but worldwide $1.23 billion was spent on dietary supplements alone last year. Like just vitamins and supplements and things that people know and were trying to supplement their health and their nutrition with pills. And sadly, a lot of those things are completely synthetic. They're full of fillers. They have, not great forms of the vitamin that you're just going to end up urinating out and not getting much benefit from. And that's why people end up getting so frustrated with spending money on supplements, because they're not actually doing hardly anything for you. And you feel like you're spending money and not seeing any benefit. And of course, who's going to keep doing that, right? A couple of years ago was researching supplements as I was kind of starting to think about like prenatal vitamins and things like that. And I was shocked to find out that I think within the last 10 years or so, there were several supplement companies that had to specifically pull off like a ton of their supplements off of store shelves because they had been studied. And I don't know who conducted this study. I don't remember. But they're not like super well regulated supplements are. They're like kind of regulated, but then like not great, as a lot of regulation goes in our country. But so they're not like the FDA like kind of has a little bit of a control over supplement production, but then like not really, because a lot of times they get shut down and they get sent warning letters and they get recalled and things like that. So a few years ago, someone had called into question the authenticity of some supplements that were on store shelves, and as it turned out, several companies had to pull all of their supplements off of the store shelves because they were tested to find that they didn't actually even contain the nutrients that were on the label. Some of them were like mostly sawdust with a little bit of added like fake vitamins to them. And so obviously you have to be super careful where you get your supplements and vitamins from. They're not all created equally, just like essential oils, right? Like somebody could throw a really cheap, terrible quality oil into a bottle and technically label it however they need to market it to make somebody think that it's great. And then it makes them sick and it gives them a headache and they feel like they don't like essential oils and they had a bad experience. And it wasn't actually even a true essential oil. It just was fake and it did nothing for them. So that's similar with supplements. So I was super excited to find that Young Living had created supplements when I first joined 7 years ago, because I was looking for like a good quality vitamin, and I was looking for, a place where I could get fish oil that didn't taste super fishy, and, a place where I could get vitamins from a place that I trusted and from a company that I knew had a really high standard for their ingredients and that had a really high value for natural and putting natural and food-based and naturally sourced ingredients into their products, and not have to do so much research onto every single little supplement company that I was choosing to buy from. And Young Living has totally helped us have so much healthier of a lifestyle. We get pretty much all of our vitamins from them. There's a few that we are not able to get exclusively from Young Living, but they come out with multiple supplements every year. And so they're even improving on their selection that they have. And we've just been super impressed with the quality of the supplement. And for the first time, my entire life, I had taken vitamins, I had taken different things, and I had honestly never noticed a difference whether I took my vitamins or not. It was like, why do I even do this? It's like, I don't even know if it's doing anything. And so for the first time, when I started taking Young Living supplements, I could feel a difference on the days that I took them versus the days that I don't. And I still can tell. I feel so much more nourished. I feel like my body operates so much better. My brain is clearer. My energy is better. Everything just works better. Digestion, stress levels, my ability to just handle life, my skin, urinary, everything works better when I'm taking my supplements. And I notice a huge difference in how I feel when I take them. And so that is motivating to me. That's a sign that I'm getting really good nutrition from the supplements that I'm taking, because I can actually tell a difference when I'm taking them. And that has never happened before in my life. So those are a couple of reasons why I have chosen Young Living. Another reason is because as I started researching oils and reading my desk reference and all of those things, and really like as I've gotten to know Young Living as a company, and especially like Mary Young and Gary Young before he passed away, I'm like leaning over my bed. So this is a super informal class, you guys. There's like no good place in my house for me to do this video except in my bedroom. So here we are. So I knew that Young Living had good quality, but I didn't exactly like know what made them so great, except that like, oh, they must just have a really good source for these vitamins. What I found out is that as I was starting to research what made Young Living vitamins and supplements special, I realized that Young Living is actually the only company in the world that has an entire line of essential oil infused dietary supplements. And now, why is that important? Why would we care of whether there's essential oils in it or not? So, a little bit of background story. Gary Young, in the like 80s and 90s, he is not a doctor, but he was a natural health practitioner. And so he had a clinic in Mexico, actually, where he would just try and like help people with their health issues where like doctors were not really coming through for them, and they were kind of at their wits' end with Western medicine and looking for a different option. And so they came to Gary's clinic where he would help them with like herbal nutritional supplements. He was really into herbs. He had always been into kind of like Chinese herbs and different herbal supplements and things like that. And so he would create herbal and nutritional supplements for people, specifically like mix them up. It was like a tailored, custom to you clinic where he would like make a supplement specifically for your needs and combine the things. It was really cool. So he was doing that in Mexico for several years. And he had also discovered essential oils, but he had never really like tried to use them together. He had kind of used them separately. Like I think a lot of people, most people would at that point, not really think to combine them. And so what happened is he had, it was multigreens actually that he was developing. It didn't have that name at that point, but ended up being called multigreens, which is an awesome green supplement that Young Living has. That's fantastic. But he was developing a green supplement to help someone specifically with some of their issues. And he, would like give them the supplement and do blood work to see like how it was working for them. And then he would kind of come back and tweak it a little bit. And so he was like really working with this formulation. And he kind of just had this epiphany of like, okay, I have these essential oils that come from the plants, and then I have these plants, and I have like the herbs and things. And so like the oil has been extracted from the herb. We're giving people like all these dried herbs, and then we have the oil that like does similar things. And so why wouldn't I like put them together? And what would happen if I put the oil back with the herbs or added oils to specific herbs that I know have both similar benefits and could help really support the system that I'm trying to help? And so he tried it, and he discovered that the bioavailability of the nutrients, when you added the essential oils into it, like skyrocketed. In the Essential Oils Desk Reference, there is kind of a small recount of the story about how multigreens I think like threefold increased the bioavailability of the green supplements that when he added the Melissa oil and the different essential oils to the multigreen supplement. Like he took the blood work, and within 30 minutes, it was like 3 times as much as it had ever been absorbed by that person's blood by adding the essential oils into it. And so that's when he realized, oh, I have really stumbled upon something truly special here, because I just discovered that adding an essential oil to a nutritional supplement is going to make their body use that so much more effectively and so much faster, and it's going to facilitate so much more healing, and it's going to be so much more effective. This is awesome. And so he then embarked kind of on finding a way to incorporate essential oils into a lot of his nutritional supplements. And that's what makes Young Living supplements truly special, is that they have essential oils infused into them. And so you take essential oils that are supposed to support different body systems, and then you take nutrients and supplemental nutrients that you can put into vitamins, and you combine them together, and it's like a powerhouse for your body, where it's not just a good quality nutrient, which is super important. You want it to be well sourced. You don't want it to have pesticides. You want it to be bioavailable. And so you have all those things, but then you add the benefits of essential oils that like literally take nutrients throughout your body and help make things more bioavailable, now you have an incredible supplement that's not only going to give you the nutrients that you were wanting, but it's going to do it faster, better, more effectively. You're going to use more of it and pee out less of it. And it's just a really awesome thing that we have access to, that I like love Young Living supplements. Most of our monthly orders are supplements from Young Living. And I don't feel like I talk about it enough because it's just kind of a daily habit where I'm taking them and I don't even think about, oh, I'm taking like the best supplements in the world, because they're infused with literally the best essential oils in the world. So, two really great resources that I want to kind of help you get into your hands if you're interested in exploring Young Living supplements. Literally, I just encourage you to like try some of them and get as much education as you can, but like trying to do an entire supplements class on all 50 something supplements was going to be really overwhelming for most people. So even though I like to really geek out about stuff like that, I don't necessarily think that y'all want me to talk for 3 hours about supplements in here. So I'm going to let you know about some resources and then tell you about some of my favorite supplements. And then what I'm also going to do in this coming next couple of weeks is I'm going to work on setting up, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, if it's going to be a file or in the unit section or something, but I'll notify you all in the group. But what I'm going to do is kind of help come up with like a recommended supplement protocol, including oil, like vitality oils to take in capsules, but recommended supplement protocols for here's what to take and when, for certain things that you want to work on. So if you're wanting to work on your cardio health, your heart health, then there's going to be a protocol for that. Hair, skin, and nails, there'll be a protocol for that. Anti-aging, digestion, those kinds of things. There's a ton of protocols that I have access to that I can kind of put together for you. And I really want our group to be full of robust education and ideas and like plans for you all, so that you don't have to feel like you're doing so much guesswork on what do I use and when and all that stuff. So I'm going to share with you tonight and this is a really great book. It's called The Supplements Desk Reference by a Young Living leader named Jen O'Sullivan. I think she has a couple of aromatherapy certificates, and she has studied supplementation and natural health and all kinds of things. I will say that not all of her advice would I follow 100%. She does veer a little bit on being a little bit more conservative with her oils than a lot of people in Young Living would tell you that you have to be. And so I would say like her recommendations and protocols in this book are very conservative. And so you just have to understand, some people might choose to use products that she says, you know, you shouldn't use this when you're pregnant, but several pregnant moms have used that supplement and they're like, it was great, it was awesome, I loved it. And so that's just, again, personal preference, being empowered in your choice, you knowing exactly what you're putting in your body, feeling good about that choice, and then moving forward with that. Obviously, she printed a book about it, and so she studied it a lot, but she also has a little bit of liability when she's putting her name on telling people what supplements to take. And so just understand that when you see, like, she has some recommendations that seem pretty conservative based off of maybe things you'll hear other people saying. And the beauty of natural health products and supplements and nutrients and oils is that every person gets to self-experiment and learn how their body responds best. And you're really like dealing with very safe things here. And so unless you're just like not using common sense and drinking an entire bottle of essential oil at one time, you really don't have to worry about, like putting yourself in any long-term danger or anything like that. So don't drink a whole bottle, but if you want to take more drops than she recommends, of certain supplements in here or something, like, it's not going to be a problem. So just say that to say, I'm going to give you a protocol for general health in this one, but also the best education as far as what ingredients and why, and the research and the why, and like all the stuff that Gary learned is in the Essential Oils Desk Reference. This book is from Life Science Publishers. DiscoverLSP.com is their website. This book used to be like $85 or something. It's hefty. But it's actually a lot cheaper now. They found ways to like mass produce it. And so it's like, I think it's now like $30. It's such a good investment, you guys, to have all of the research, there's like chapters on cleansing and like great recipes. And there's information on all of the products in Young Living. Not just the oils. So the Pocket Reference just has the oils. the desk reference has all the supplements, all the personal care products, lots and lots of great things. I honestly have thought multiple times throughout my career of like, you know what, I should just teach straight through the desk reference and we would all be set, because there's literally like so much in the desk reference, you would never run out of things to talk about. So grab a desk reference if that moves you. It's a great place to learn about supplements. Obviously the supplements desk reference is a great little like handheld. It's a smaller scale tool to have, and I really like it. But the desk reference is written by Gary himself, pretty much. It's like compiled by his research, his notes, his protocols, his recipes. And so there's just some really spectacular information in the desk references that's hard to beat. So those are my two favorite resources for supplements and knowing what to do. Okay, so one major question that I get about supplements is, how do I know what to take and how often? Because a lot of times people feel like, if I take all the supplements that I need, I feel like I'm going to be taking 1,000,000 pills a day, and like, how do I do that? And that's a really good question. And for a long time I was like, I don't know, I don't think it matters. I mean, like, on the stuff that says don't take it on an empty stomach, then like, don't do that, but I don't really know. But actually I think like several months ago now, there is I think he's a biochemist or a biophysicist or something. He's a leader in Young Living, and his name is Doug Corrigan. He has really great content, very, very sciencey, like over my head sometimes. But he had a long post, and I think I shared it into our group, but he had a long post about, like how to take supplements in the best way for your body. And he basically said that when you take a ton of supplements all at once, it literally floods your body with nutrients, and sometimes it can be a little bit much, and you end up wasting some of those great supplements. Obviously we don't want to do that. So our bodies actually do absorb better when we do a few at a time throughout the day. Obviously some of our lifestyles don't like work well for that. I told my husband, and he was like, I don't want to be taking vitamins all day long like that. No, I want to take it like morning and maybe evening, but like, I don't want to do that. So it's totally up to you. Obviously getting them in your diet is better than nothing. So that's, like, that's great. If you just like need to get some vitamins in your diet, then just take them whenever. If you want like optimal and this like works for you, he recommended taking like 2 to 4 capsules of something every 2 to 3 hours throughout the day, so that you're really spacing out your nutritional supplementing, and your body has a chance to absorb it, and then you give it some more, and then you give it some more, and then you give it some more. Kind of like how we eat, right? Like, we don't eat all of our calories all at once in the morning. If we ate 2,000 calories the first thing in the morning and then we didn't eat the rest of the day, that would be really hard on our bodies, right? Like, it just wouldn't be ideal, right? So the ideal is to kind of feed your body supplements as you would think of eating, where you kind of space it out throughout the day. So that's like the ideal. Do what you can, obviously. Get it in your body however you can. If that's once a day, great. Start there. If that's like 3 times a day, great. If it's every 2 hours, because we're all staying home all the time now and you're working from home or whatever, then give it a shot and see how like it works for you. So here's the general health protocol from the supplements desk reference. And I think she tells the story of how Gary started putting oils into the nutritional supplements in here too, so you can kind of read that story for yourself. But the general health protocol I thought is really, really good. I'm going to do like a document of this so that we have it in writing too, but I wanted to kind of go through it with you guys just to kind of talk through what you would need. So this is just a basic healthy lifestyle. This would answer the question of like, I don't take any supplements. What should I start doing just for like basic general wellness and health? And so for Young Living, we have something really special, which is Ningxia Red, and that's a whole class in and of itself. We have education in here and tech classes and things like that for Ningxia Red. Ningxia Red is chock full of antioxidants. It is a superfood antioxidant liquid supplement that you drink. It's delicious. It's from the Ningxia wolfberry that we source in China. It is super, super nutrient dense. It helps with all kinds of issues. It helps with vision. It helps with cellular health. It helps with joint health. It helps with inflammation. It helps with blood sugar. It helps with like detoxing. It has tons of fiber. It has tons of zinc and minerals and vitamins and micronutrients. It's amazing. So the foundation of most of the health protocols and the supplement protocols is going to start with Ningxia Red, because it's like a super bioavailable superfood multivitamin for your body that you can drink. And it's delicious. You can give it to your kids, but every system benefits from Ningxia Red every day. So 1 to 2 ounces of Ningxia Red is a part of all of these, every protocol that you'll see posted into the group in the next couple of weeks. It can help with so many things. I mean, like literally everything. It blows my mind still to hear the testimonies of Ningxia Red that I've heard of it helping with things that I've never even heard of before. So it's amazing. So Ningxia Red is every morning. You would drink 1 to 2 ounces with your breakfast, Ningxia Red. Then Master Formula is Young Living's multivitamin. It comes in little prepackaged sachets. You get 4 of those capsules, and you would take them all at once. So you would take that with breakfast. Master Formula is amazing. That's that vitamin that I told you, like if I miss it, and I can tell a difference the days in my energy and the way that I feel and the way that I feel nourished in my body, and just don't feel depleted when I take Master Formula versus when I don't. So Master Formula with breakfast with your Ningxia Red. Magnifies is Young Living's fish oil supplement. That's one of those amazing supplements that has essential oils infused with the fish oil. So they're not huge horse pills because the oils make the fish oil more bioavailable in your body, which is amazing. So they're super easy to take. You don't burp up fishy anything. They don't smell or taste fishy. They're super small capsules. You would take 2 of those with breakfast. And then Super B is Young Living's B complex vitamin. It has all food-based organic B vitamins, nothing synthetic, no folic acid for the people who have the MTHR gene mutation. It would be safe for you to take because it doesn't have synthetic folic acid. So that's fine. That's good for you. And then, so you take 1 of those with breakfast, and then Super Cal Plus, which is this calcium supplement that came out a couple of years ago. So Super Cal Plus has calcium, vitamin D, and K2 in it, which is really good because those all work really well synergetically together. Synergistically? I think synergistically. Okay, so that's with breakfast. So you kind of take the bulk of your supplements in the morning with your breakfast, eat it with food, or take them with food, obviously, because that's a lot of pills to be taking. You don't want to take that on an empty stomach. Take your Ningxia Red with breakfast. That's how you start your day, okay? Then, moving on to lunch, you would take an Essential Zymes 4. Those are dietary enzymes to help you break down and get nutrients from your food. All of our food is lacking in enzymes because it's so highly processed. We don't eat a lot of raw vegetables anymore, and so if we're eating tons of cooked vegetables, the enzymes are cooked out. And there's just everything has so many fillers and additives in it, and then there's so highly processed that we don't have enzymes to help break it down. So that's what enzymes do. Essential Zymes 4 is a broad spectrum dietary enzyme. It's going to help you with so many things, help you break down your food, get nutrition from it, actually, instead of just letting it all become waste. So you take those just before lunch, Essential Zymes 4, take another Super B with your lunch, and then you take 3 multigreens with your lunch. Multigreens is that amazing breakthrough supplement that Gary created and found that it was so much more bioavailable with oils in it. It has great oils in it like Melissa, which is great for anxiety and just mental health and also inflammation in the body. So the green supplement, a lot of green juices are popular now, and greens where you take a scoop of the greens powder and put it in a glass of water and drink it, but it looks like pond scum and it's not super appealing. And so I love multigreens because I can just take it in a capsule and I get my green supplement, which everybody needs to be eating more greens anyway. But I take my green supplement and I don't have to drink it all day. I'm not a big fan of drinking greens. But the multigreens takes care of that, and I don't have to drink anything. So take 3 multigreens with lunch. Then dinner, you take another Essential Zymes 4, again, helping you break down your food and get the nutrition from it. 3 more multigreens with dinner, and then 2 Omega-Gi's with dinner, okay? So some of these are splitting it up with, you're taking the same supplements. It's not like you're taking different ones at every meal, but you're kind of splitting up the doses throughout the day. And then after dinner, about 2 to 3 hours after dinner or right before bed is actually when I prefer to do it, is you take your probiotic. Probiotics are hugely important for gut health, for helping you maintain a healthy gut flora. Most of our immune system resides in our gut, and if we allow it to get overrun with bad bacteria from eating too much sugar, eating too much white flour, the gut is where all kinds of things are processed in the body, and it can get out of balance pretty quickly when we're not feeding it beneficial things. So fermented foods are super healthy for you, and that's why, because it helps keep the gut flora balanced in your gut. But taking a good quality probiotic supplement is super important too, and it's a super easy way to make sure that you're getting enough probiotics. So Life 9, it has 9 different strands of probiotics. It has 17 billion active cultures. You need to keep it refrigerated because of the active cultures. So go pop one in the fridge, and then pop one right before bed is when I prefer to take it. It's just easier for me to remember to do it before bed. It's kind of like my bedtime routine. That way I don't forget. So take your Life 9 before dinner. So that's kind of your everyday general health protocols. Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 supplements that you should be taking daily for optimal general health. Obviously, if you can't start with 8 supplements, I would start with Ningxia Red, and I would start with enzymes. Because your enzymes are going to help you literally get nutrition from your food that you would otherwise just be like wasting. And you don't want your healthy diet and all of your effort at eating tons of vegetables and eating tons of great proteins and all of those things to just totally go to waste because your body doesn't have what it needs to break it down. So I would get Ningxia Red because that's definitely the best. You're drinking it, it's super bioavailable, it's tons of antioxidants, so good for so many things. And then add your dietary enzymes. I would start with those 2 things. If you can't do all of it at once, start with those 2. As soon as you can, I would add your Life 9 to that so that you're taking Ningxia Red, enzymes, and then Life 9. At some point, look into adding all of them because all of them truly are important. If you look at what we are majorly lacking in our diets, these really cover the bases, but Ningxia Red is going to help you so much. It's going to help with your gut health. It's going to help you like absorb more nutrition. It's going to help your body be more nourished than your enzymes, and then your probiotic, your Life 9. Master Formula is amazing. So if you can definitely, I would use your Essential Rewards points and save up for Master Formula. Take it for a month and see if you don't notice how amazingly nourished you feel taking that multivitamin. It is the best multivitamin I have ever taken. I took it as a prenatal with both of my kids. At our midwife's permission. They looked over it and said, yeah, these ingredients are great. I supplemented with Super B to get the extra folic acid or the folate that we needed. But we did that for a prenatal. And I took that, I did Ningxia Red, and it was tons of great nutrition. My kids were super healthy at birth. And so we used that and had no problems at all. So it has tons of really great bioavailable food-based, organic food-based vitamins. They're not synthetic. You're not going to waste them. They're actually going to do what you want them to do in your body, which is provide nutrition for bodily functions and systems. So that's awesome. So that is kind of the general health protocol. This is from the Supplements Desk Reference. Page 26 is where you can find this. If you decide to grab a copy, this is where that one is. So in this book, there's so many great, there's information about all of the vitality oils that you can take as supplements as well. And so she gives you kind of ideas for what to take for different systems to support them with oils, and then also with the Young Living supplements. So I'm going to be working really hard over the next few weeks to get as many of these support supplement protocols in to our group so that we can have them. Feel free to tag friends, add friends if they need to know about it. There's kids health, pet health, all kinds of different systems, liver, digestion, hormone, all that stuff. So I'm going to be adding as much of this as possible, obviously giving Jenna Sullivan credit and adding some of my own recommendations into it. Of things that I have seen and used, but super excited to be bringing more of this type of information to you. I get so many questions about what supplements should I take and how do I support this system, and there's so many options. What should I be using? And so hopefully this brings a little bit of clarity and some direction for those of you who are kind of looking for a plan. I definitely do better if I have a plan, and so I know how that feels when you feel like there's so many options. What do I do? And so hopefully this will be helpful to you. So be looking for more, liver support protocol and anti-aging protocol and things like that coming. We're going to be loading a lot of that information into the group. Grab one of these from Life Science Publishers if you want to. It's a great book to have, and also the Desk Reference is an awesome book to have as well. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This has been, I think it's been like 40 minutes, so I want to keep it as short as possible. I can get long-winded talking about supplements because I love it so much. But if you have questions, feel free to private message me. I'm happy to chat with you and give you resources and information and help you come up with something personal to you. If you have comments, leave them and I'll come back and answer as much as I can. Tag people on this video if they need more information on the basics of supplements and what makes Young Living so awesome and why they should be supplementing as well. And have a great rest of your evening and a great weekend. See you guys. Bye-bye.